Welcome back, everyone. Mike McConville here, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. So we have another Les Paul here with a compensated nut, 10 to 46 strings, concert pitch. We've all seen and read and heard countless excuses why Les Pauls won't stay in tune. Instead of opening up a can of worms and excuses of why a Les Paul won't stay in tune, I'm going to start this video with showing you a Les Paul that is in tune, perfectly in tune, and you can hear and see for yourself. I've got the camera looking over my shoulder at the tuner. I'm going to illustrate a bunch of different tuning checks. Pick up your own Les Paul at home, try this. I've got all 6 strings, so just play them open. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to go string to string. So we're going to play 7th fret, 19th fret, 12th fret, and open, and then the 1st fret note. A string, D string, 12th fret, open, and 1st fret. G string, and 1st fret. And the B string, and 1st fret. High E, 12th, open, and 1st. So I'm going to put a completely different spin on this "why can't I tune my Les Paul" that you hear tens of thousands of comments on forums, online, in videos and blogs. And let's not start there. Let's start with a guitar that's perfectly in tune. That's where we're going with this. So here's a Les Paul that's been intonated, compensated nut, fret stressed. Everything that should be done has been done. Did not change the tuners. I don't have roller bearings on the headstock. I didn't change the bridge. It's a stock Les Paul, standard. Have a listen. Does this sound in tune? Here's an A minor 9. Exact same chord, an octave higher. Here's an E minor 9. Same chord, an octave higher. So let's look at several ways you can check to see just how accurately or inaccurately the calibration and compensation is or is not on your Les Paul. So here's another way to check your tuning on your Les Paul. The open E string and a 4th. You go to the next set of 3 strings. And the next group. And the top 3. So I've done this so many times in so many other videos just to make a point that yes, you can actually tune a Les Paul. And I go through in great detail in my Patreon channel precisely what I do to get this level of accuracy. So let's just run the gamut one more time of all the garden variety chords all over the neck. So here's D. Here's G. A. B, Anyways, you get the idea. So I've got a progression, another progression. Basically, it's an E minor thing, E minor 9 to a G6 9, A minor 11 to B minor 11. Last two chords are F sharp diminished 7 and B 7 sharp 9. That's the turnaround chords, right? So again. And like I mentioned a minute ago about bluegrass, you don't tend to play classical guitar on a Les Paul either. But again, if it's intonated and regulated like this, you could. And this is a good exercise to sort of illustrate the accuracy. I have done this in previous videos, but I'm going to use it again. So we have the interval of a tenth on the bottom, which is a third moved up an octave. Now, on top I've got a ninth, the distance between these two notes. So if they're played together, they sort of sound out of tune. But if they're arpeggiated, because Western music, for the most part, is built on what's called tertian harmony, or stacking a third on a third on a third, and this is how chords are made. Root 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. You basically stack a third on a third on a third. This tertian harmony is what's used for 90% of what we hear in the Western world. Whether it be classical or folk or pop or rock, or most forms of music are going to be built on tertian harmony. Most people who play those chords probably don't have any idea what tertian harmony is, and that's okay. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is, again, getting to this Les Paul that actually is in tune, no excuses, perfectly in tune. The best way to display it is to use tertian exercises or tertian harmony exercises. So once again, I've got root 6th, and 10th. Now what I was doing a minute ago was I was just playing the 10th and then putting a 9th on top. This time I'm just going to go root 6, 10. So if I go to the bass strings, it'd be the real point I'm trying to make is when the guitar is regulated, you really can play any chord anywhere on the neck and it's perfectly in tune. So we're going to go back to that progression that and I'll just play the guitar clean here. You very rarely hear me use distortion. But it is a Les Paul, right? So let's, I've got my turbo overdrive, which I almost never use. We'll let that play again. Just heated up this knife here and the buffer. You always have to score these, and oftentimes we will have to split the nut to get it out, and I think this is probably the case here. Before I smooth everything out and make it look pretty, these are the final values for the 10 to 46 strings at concert pitch. Yeah, that's a better angle. So these are the finished values for the 10 to 46 strings at concert pitch for the 24 and 5/8 inch scale Les Paul. So all the final sanding is done, and that's where we ended up with that compensated nut.